Let's let Brian Davis tell us who he is, because I'm not going to say anything about him at all.
Marketplace, and drawing inspiration from classic fantasy writers like C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien, our guest Brian Davis has become one of the leading contemporary storytellers among young adult readers today.
Dragons in our midst, and that started a rebirth in the Christian fantasy genre.
Your own children, do you go outside of that to do some research and kind of find out what's pressing kids' buttons?
And you've really tried to reach out to them in other ways, too, besides the books. You know that they're connected to the internet, and so you've used that as a tool to talk to them. Tell me about that.
Yes, I have a very active message forum. We've had over 1 million messages posted over the years, and I private message with the kids and help them with their problems. They're writing to me about pornography and cutting and all the things that kids are going through.
Do you do that intentionally, or do you kind of think about your own children, or do you go?
So I had a lot of feedback and be able to bounce the ideas off them. I think you have to make them more complex and more challenging because they want to dig in. They want to ask questions. And I found that the deeper and more complex I make it, the more they like it. And I like that kind of writing too.
And you've really tried to reach out to them in other ways.
She was 16 or 17. She was being sexually abused by her father and threatened. If you ever tell your mother, I'll kill you or whatever they do. And then she saw signs that he was about to start on her younger sister. And one night she was just weeping, all alone, had just been abused. And she looked up at her bookshelf and saw my books up there. She said to herself, what would Bonnie do? What would Bonnie do in this situation? She was abused by her father, not the same way, but still abused, felt trapped. And because of fictional characters in a book, she said she'd do something about it. School, maybe I'm abused by one of my parents or whatever it is. I'm trapped. I don't know what to do. They can feel the emotional connection.
That appeared to be some sort of youth group meeting. But I just want to share with you one of the books that I came across that he has written. And again, you guys can make your own judgments as far as, this is the guy that David Solomon is alleging is part of a trafficking ring with Stephen Stearns. And he's saying that the police are going to connect all these people together and we just have to wait and it's going to all come out. So I don't know if this is true or not, but it's very interesting looking into these characters.
Fantasy started because I had a dream one night about a boy who could breathe fire. And I had been writing some for my kids because they're all homeschooled, and teaching them how to write, I was writing a story for them. But when I came up with this dream, my eldest son, who's now 26, he was 13 at the time, said, Dad, you should write something about that dream. Then it would be a fantasy story. And then I'd get a lot better. I wanted to appeal to a little older audience, more 13 to 18.
So he's trying to appeal to 13 and 18 with his book writing. Let's check out this book. So I'm just going to read the back of it. From another world, kidnapping and enslaving humans have been emulating in Jason Master's world, while for a slave girl named Corin, the stories of a human world seem pure myth. Together, these two will need to bridge two planes in order to overthrow the dramatic threat and bring the lost slaves home. As a starlight, Corinne knows her destiny to save her fellow human slaves from the dragon's bondage. But by following orders of the smooth-talking dragon king Tarushan, has she in fact doomed her people and herself? As Corinne struggles over her choices, Alyssa discovers a new aspect to her diviner gifts when her pendant begins to unlock mysteries surrounding the star drops from the Exodus star. So these are just some excerpts from the book. They torture children to bring you into submission. They tear your bodies to pieces. And even though you haven't witnessed all this, and even though you have never beheld one of these beasts, or though you've never witnessed such slaughter, you embrace fear. Now, this is all just very interesting stuff. I'm very curious to know what your thoughts are. Please put your thoughts in the comments as far as, is this somebody you would trust with your kids? Do you think this guy's on the up and up? Do you believe David Solomon's accusations? Have you ever read one of these books from any of these writers, or do you know anybody that has?